Hey friends, Sheree here. Welcome back to the channel, Gardening at Home with Sheree. While I am outside, it's a beautiful day. I've just separated my onion starts. It's early April here. Still too cold to put out a lot of the things that I've started from seed indoors, but it is a good time to start getting out some of my collards and cabbages and kales and things like that that I started from seed. Now, most of these kinds of crops I actually start directly outside, but I want to have an earlier batch, and so I went on and started a bunch indoors. They're actually still growing along healthily. This batch here is a tray of 78 different seed pods that I started with the intention of uppotting a lot of them indoors. But I did too many. I did a couple trays. I did some directly in containers, and I just didn't have the space to uppot these because I was just still eating off of the other things. And so this tray kind of got neglected. I kept planning on, uppotting some more, but then I was using that shelf space to start even more eggplant and tomatoes and peppers and things like that. So she got neglected. Some things went to seed, mainly because they dried out and they got stressed. But a lot of this is salvageable. So I brought this outside on the screen porch to acclimate to the outdoor conditions. I generally don't have a problem, but I do bring my plants usually outside to my screen porch or my greenhouse. I let them sit there for a day or two, and then I plant them out. And depending on what it is, a lot of these things are going into places, like these are gonna go into places that won't sit in full sun all day, though actually some of these will, because my shady garden where my true starts for the season sit, I have two trays that space is already designated for. So I'm going to mix some of this in. I'll harvest some of this stuff early, but actually I'm going to transplant some of this down in my full sun garden, well, mostly full sun garden right now, because we still don't have any leaves on our trees here in April. So a lot of the garden is in full sun. But I just wanted to share with you all, yes, I lost some from my own neglect. Like, I'm going to try to revive this gorgeous red Chinese cabbage, but I did already start some more of those, thank goodness. Let me show you. This is a tray that I just started a couple days ago, and I was so glad to see that I did start a bunch of those. So this is one of my favorite red cabbages. It's a red Chinese cabbage, so it grows really quickly, and it's beautiful and delicious, and it grows really well indoors. And so, but the couple of things I wanted to share. I have a lot of things in here that I'm very excited about, though, to get out, mainly because it's my first time growing it. Like this here, this is a purple cabbage, purple cauliflower that I've never grown before. I've actually never harvested a cauliflower from our garden. I've eaten the leaves, but I've never gotten like the head. So we'll see if this works better for me in the spring versus trying these things in the fall. But I have a bunch of other cabbages here. But here's the one thing. I'm going to sow more of these because these are just pretty looking. And I've grown collards here before. Hang on, tag is stuck. I've grown collards here before. This will be my first time growing this variety. It's called an old-timey blue. And look at how beautiful the leaf color is already as a seedling. So again, not the, most perfect seedling, because she's been neglected, but I think it looks like I have actually 3 plants in there, so I'm going to separate those out, and I have a few more in here. I think I sowed either 3 or 6 of those, but this will also give me a good look. As I pull these out, I'll decide what to harvest more of. What is that there? Oh yeah, that's a Chinese broccoli. So those look like they're doing okay. So anyway, I mean, certainly more than half of this tray is salvageable. And so I'm going to get these out into the garden right after so I'm going to go through, I'm going to get the onions into the beds where I want them. And then I'm going to come behind and intermix these greens. And I'm just going to let them grow until it's time for me to get my tomatoes and eggplant and peppers into those beds. And I'm just gonna harvest them in whatever stage they're at. If they're baby greens, they're baby greens. They're gonna get eaten. And then I have my other part of the garden where I'll be trying to grow things to their full size, because again, they should survive longer because they won't get hit with that heat in summer and possibly bolt. That's the danger I have of putting it in my lower garden that really sits in mostly sun. And then here are 8 more varieties of things that I started. These are much more seedling stage. These are like with their, not even with their true leaves yet. And so these just popped up. I sowed these, and a lot of these things just germinate really quickly. So I hadn't even had a chance to get them under the grow lights. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna bring them outside onto the screen porch, and that way they'll already be acclimated. So I'm gonna let these grow a little bit more, start to set those second set of leaves on some of them, but some of them I'm gonna go in and scoop out and just prick out and transplant as is into the garden. Again, just to have some succession planting going. This is a bok choy, for example. And then I'm definitely excited about all of the red cabbages that I have. And I have some more of those started properly, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and just put these out since I do have all the other seedlings. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you. Trying to grow even more variety of greens this spring than I typically do. Typically I grow a lot of lettuce and kale. And then I kind of try to do that like typical, like grow your cabbages into the fall to harvest in fall, but I have not gotten that to work. So I'm gonna see if I can get spring cabbage and more spring greens in between pressure canning and freezing, dehydrating, and especially freeze drying. I freeze dried some cabbage and kale, and it freeze dries so beautifully. And so at least I can get some of the stuff hopefully grown and preserved, and then I'll just continue to grow them indoors. They grow really well for me indoors over the winter, and that's when I can get to have it fresh. So anyway, just wanted to share that. Mainly wanted to share this beautiful old-timey blue collard green. I gotta make sure that I got all my collard greens sown since this looks so good. I'm gonna go back. I probably have like 10 varieties of collard greens. I think I might do just like, yeah, I'm gonna pull them all out because I wanna have more collard greens. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.